Okay, so as I had stated before, I was I sent Bob the article because I saw Ernestine Hilton Sigmon's name, and I'd forgotten that, and this was probably maybe 2 years ago, that somebody in this group had posted a very a very extensive, in my opinion, collection of Hilton dolls. So, and you have a Hilton doll.
I've got two of them.
You've got two of them.
Yeah, Ernestine, though, that one is to me, it was always a fascinating story. When I had the wood kiln, when I had the groundhog kiln,
Was that here?
that was here, and
In the same spot that?
it was where the new kiln was.
Okay.
The old groundhog. We were firing, and people would come in, and I had a couple from Raleigh that came in, and they brought some of Charlie Craven's big pots.
Okay.
Wanted me to fire them in the groundhog with alkali glaze on. And the payment was that Ernestine Hilton Sigmon.
So they wanted you to. So were they green when they brought them to you?
They were misfired.
Okay.
But
that makes sense.
That's another story, though.
So how did people feel about? Like, did you feel like you needed to call Charlie up and go, "Hey, man,
No,
I've got your pots. I got some pots here. People want me to put in my,
because they had bought them from him, and they had, that was their intention, was to have them fired. But I've also fired D.X. Gordy's pieces.
Well, you fired that
Norman Smith
one B.B. Craig piece that you gave me that you said you found somewhere and it was under fired, so you couldn't see the spiral
Yes.
in it.
Yeah, but now Norman Smith, if you look in Raised in Clay, you'll find his stuff from Alabama. I fired a lot of Normans. We had a couple people from Pleasant Garden that would go down there and buy his pieces,
And
I would fire them up.
did you ever? How do I say this? Have a problem with? Like, did you ever feel like you had to fire someone's pieces differently than your pieces, or someone's pieces? I mean, everybody's was pretty tough. Like, everybody pretty much.
I mean, that was just something. But Charlie never, he never had a shop. Well, he did for a very, very short period of time, a couple of years, maybe not even a year. They're near Ben Owen's shop, he and his brother.
Okay.
But that's the only time he ever had a shop. He always worked for somebody.
Right.
And most of his pieces are stamped.
So did they want them salt glazed? What kind of glaze did they want on them?
That was alkaline that I put on Charlie's here, because that's what I was doing at that time. I never done much, with a kiln and salt. It tends to break bricks down. So
Okay, well that makes sense.
Yeah, I've never had that much desire.
Because is this alkaline?
No, that's the salt.
This is salt.
That's
Yeah.
what his dad did.
And that's what my pot is.
Yes,
Is
yeah.
salt.
Yeah, that and Daniel was like JB. He always just did utilitarian work like that, not the art pottery.
Gotcha.
Most of Charlie's that got signed or got stamped probably were done at Teague's, and Zedith, he was her uncle. B.D. Teague married Daniel Craven's daughter.
Okay.
Bessie was one of Daniel's daughters, and most of the pots there were let me see, the daughters. Most of the pieces that Charlie actually got stamped were stamped with the Teague's pottery and C.B. Craven. Now, they're Jugtown pieces. He made pieces for Jugtown and M.L. Owens.
Now, how did that go? How did... I'm sitting here thinking, well, I guess they didn't care. I guess, you need a job. Hey, I'll throw some pots for you. Hey, I need this many done for this order. I'll throw some pots for you. part of me is sort of interested, and this might be gauche, in the dynamics of, some of these older families and things that went on in the past.
You start to look at these older families and how closely connected they actually are.
Well, that and how it almost seems like, to some extent, there's a little bit of Hatfield and McCoy tension going on.
Yeah.
And, there's obviously they have family that's still alive. And
and some things I'll be very careful.
probably don't want to talk about it too much.
And I'm careful sometimes about what I say, because there are still, those
tensions
that are, and I know a lot more than I say.
Right.
Because I just, sometimes things need to be buried.
Right.
It's just a lot nicer. But I do know stories. we used to laugh about some of them. It's really funny with the Charlie Craven pieces, and like I said, we traded that doll to fire
those two, one doll or both dolls?
Oh no, the other one I remember where I picked up that Maud Hilton, but just the Ernestine pieces.
And did those people? They were from Raleigh, so they knew when they brought them here. You fired them. They came, picked them up, and gave you the doll.
That's right. That was a good trade.
Yeah, I'd say. I went online to see if I could find any dolls on sale right now, and I couldn't.
They don't come up too often. And Ernestine and her mother both made the clothes for them.
Right.
All of that. So all of these connections. You start to look at family connections. I did a thing about the McCoys and the Moffats and the Maribels, and how all of these people and related to the Owenses.
Right.
And you start to see, these family connections. And
well, it makes sense two times over. One is, geographically, people didn't go too far until probably, the advent of the car.
Oh yeah, and you think about having to hitch up the wagon just to go see somebody.
Yeah.
And
then, obviously, if you've got, your family has a skill, another family has the same skill, it only would make sense that if,
you end up,
Yeah, it possibly even being encouraged. Hey, look at that coal boy over there looks pretty good.
And that's they said, if you married into a pottery family, you had to become a potter.
Or at least probably a potter adjunct.
Well, it's like Fillmore Grace, when he married Nell, he became a potter. And not only a potter, probably one of the best ever lived. He was so good.
Well, it was like when I told you when we were over at Jugtown, and I ran into Vernon's brother.
Yeah, Bobby.
Who I don't. When we were talking, he never said anything about throwing, but he talked about obviously digging the clay and making the glazes, and
that was pretty much his job,
and things of that nature. So
he was not. I never was a turner really. He actually did the grunt work, the hard work. The pretty people like me get on the wheel and make pots, and everybody goes ooh and ah. But the people behind the scenes, like Bobby, those are the ones that keep the whole operation going.
Well, look, when I first started, getting into pottery and stuff, I've taken, a few lessons. And when you start to think about everything that goes into a pot, the Bible talks about, the potter and the wheel, and you're already like 5 steps in.
Absolutely.
Because they're not talking about you digging up the clay or anything else like that. I mean, it's
You have to have somebody that does all the grunt work. And Bobby, that's what he wanted to do.
Now, did you ever try to lasso Betty Jo into doing any of this work?
Oh, good gracious. Betty Jo has an aversion to anything like, her mother was a home ec teacher, wonderful seamstress, and I think Betty Jo actually probably would do things to make her mother take the patterns and the dresses away from her, so that she didn't have to do the work.
There you go. Okay. I mean, she's very I've been in here with her, and she's very knowledgeable. I mean, she knows the glazes and all that other,
Yeah, but
Did you ever make your kids? Did you ever try to get your kids to come on, boy? You're gonna come in here and you're gonna paint this mug today. You can paint 500 of them.
Yeah, and that they
they resented that too.
they did not follow that too well.
Yeah.
Logan's the only woman that's really had the talent to do it, and I really appreciate that he has taken the interest. But most, they have not, and probably a good thing, because they made a lot more money if that's what you're looking for.
Right.
They've done very well with that. I think Liam's got a lot of the artistic traits, but I don't know whether it's pottery more than painting and things
well,
like that.
maybe Liam can decorate.
I'll tell you, Liam just did a watercolor. It was so good it was framed of Mount, it's where the cherry blossoms are, Mount Fuji.
Oh, okay.
And gave it to his mother for her birthday. And that watercolor was fantastic. I mean, he got Mount Fuji. And he's got a lot of talent there. But I don't know whether, it's not necessarily the water. He seems to be more interested in the brushes. I've got to get him a calligraphy set, he says. And that's something that, boy, I don't like. I'm left-handed. And you know what calligraphy looks like with a left-hander?
And I didn't realize you were left-handed.
Oh, yeah.
I'm learning all kinds of stuff today.
Yeah. If you look, I'm very left-handed, and it smears. So I'm going to try to teach him calligraphy, he thinks. But anyway, I probably have to.
Are you going to get him the traditional block?
Oh, yeah. Well, he's going to start, with the pens. And I used to try with them, because I always wanted to be able to do that. But your hands roll over it, and it's nothing but smear.